Hey everybody, welcome back to the property. So what we're doing today, my dad and I are up here. We're just doing a little bit of cleanup work, cleaning up some of the bigger rocks that are on this pile. I was up here one day last week. I moved just a little bit of the dirt that was on the edge of this pile here. I don't know if you can see that stake that's right over there. That's where our well is going to go. So I wanted to kind of clear out some of the dirt that was right here to allow the drilling rig to get in here to drill the well. But while I was doing that, I pushed some of these larger rocks over this way. We had the bucket on my dad's tractor, and I was able to get all this stuff out of the way. So I couldn't pick any of these up. This one right here is pretty big. I don't think his tractor is going to be able to lift that. So I wasn't able to pick these up just because they were too big to fit in the bucket. He's got the forks on today. We're going to move some of these over there just to get them out of the way, and then we're going to move some logs. 3 of the logs that I have sitting over there, just to get them out of the way, we're going to have to cut those in half. They are just a little bit too heavy to pick up with that tractor. We drug them up here before, and then we're going to move a few of the logs that I have back in the woods, in the way of a path that I have going up through there. So like I said, try to get some of these moved with the forks right now, and then we'll go from there. So what we're doing with these rocks is we're just taking them over. That stone row that goes along the other side of the field there was always kind of a smaller stone row. The stone row that's on the other side of the house here is nice, big, and it really looks nice, at least I think so, being here next to the house. So we're just going to take some of these rocks, and then as I sift some of this dirt too, I'm not sifting all of it, we're going to get rid of some of it, but as I sift some of this dirt and we kind of take the rocks out, we're going to just fill in the gaps with those smaller rocks over there on that stone row, kind of build it up, and will give us a nice rock wall then on the other side of the house. But that rock that he just took, it doesn't look very big, at least I don't think so on camera, but here in person, that rock is probably close to 400 pounds or so, and some of the ones that are over here that we might try to get next are much heavier than that. So we'll see how many we can get moved today. Like I said, we're not even going to try this big one, but just a few of these other ones that won't fit in the bucket. Like I said, then we'll cut those logs in half over there and take them up, put them on the pile for firewood. While my dad's moving some of those rocks, I figured I'd take the opportunity to get the saw sharpened up, make sure we're good to go to cut those logs in half. I'll tell you what, I love these steel, well, this one's a steel 2-in-1 sharpeners. I now, since I bought this one, this is the first one I bought for this saw. I've gotten one for each of my chainsaws because they're different tooth sizes and everything. But this just makes sharpening the saw so much faster than doing it by hand or any other way that I've ever done it. And this saw, last time I used it, I was trying to cut through one of the stumps that they dug out coming up through the driveway and hit a piece of an old barbed wire fence. So this saw was pretty dull, so I'm going to send this through each tooth 4 to 5 times. But man, after using this sharpener, even on an old chain, it cuts just like new. For anybody who doesn't know, the reason they call it a 2-in-1 is it sharpens the tooth here and the top of the raker both at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this the saw, and we'll get out there, cut those logs in half, take them up to the firewood pile. So that's most of the big rocks, at least the ones that we were able to pick up with the forks that wouldn't fit in the bucket. That one right there, and then these two over here, they're just far too big to be able to pick up with that tractor. We're gonna have to get something a little bit bigger to lift them out of here, or just roll them over to the stone road, just kind of push them with the tractor. But that may just have to wait till spring, unless I can convince the contractor to move them when he's up here with his excavator. So all the stuff that we're taking out of here now, clearing out of here and taking up to the firewood log pile, is stuff that had wind fallen over the last 5 or 6 years. None of it is recent by any means, but we're just cleaning it up. I'll show you here in a second. I've got a path that goes all the way up through this field, or this piece of woods on an angle, and it goes up and touches the top field. It's something that in the past I've just used for the four-wheelers, but now I think I want to improve it quite a bit and be able to use it for cars. When we camp every Labor Day weekend up here, we camp in the field that, that this path goes into. So instead of having the cars drive through our yard where the house is going to be, I'd like to have them split off the driveway, come up through, hit this path, and then go straight up through the woods. So we're just cleaning these up now just to get them out of the way. Like I said, today we're just kind of doing a little bit of a cleanup. Most of this stuff is still really good for firewood. Anything that's really light or rotten or falling apart, I'm just picking up and putting on any one of the brush piles around here. I have a bunch of those, so I'm going to be burning a lot of that stuff this winter. So my dad's just making trips back and forth, and I'm cutting things to length so that way he can go through some of the trees here. So we really just have to take our time getting these logs out of here. We're in the middle of the woods, and there's a lot of old stumps that we haven't even cut off that are still existing from previous owners, a lot of rocks, just a lot of uneven terrain. So we got to be careful because we're not stacking anything on here very nicely. So we want to make sure we don't hit any of those rocks and dump everything off and have to reload. But I don't know if you can see behind me here how the trail kind of goes right down through here. Follows that path right down through all the way to where the septic system is, or the tank, at least septic tank. So the tank is right at the end there at where it comes out of the woods. So we're not going to be able to use that as an entrance point just because we're not going to want cars driving over that. I don't know if you're able to or not, but just to be certain, I don't want anybody driving over through there. So we're going to eventually have it come down from there, down kind of further down in the woods where it's not so steep, come up, meet this trail, and then it'll follow the trail all the way up through. We might have to take out that little maple tree right there, but then it goes all the way up, as you can see, to the corner of the field. That's not the route we're going to take for the road. Like I said, again, that's the four-wheeler path. The route we're going to take for the road goes up past that, actually right through where that brush pile is. So I'm going to burn that this winter, and then it'll go straight up through and come out where my dad is right now onto the old road that we used to get up through there. So the sun's starting to go down. We got a decent amount cleaned up in here. It definitely goes a lot quicker with two people. My dad's just heading up through here now with the last load, just 3 small maple logs. But I'm walking up here through here real quick. I'll show you the pile, what the firewood pile looks like. And this is stuff that we'll take care of this winter. We'll get everything split, piled here. I wanted to have it split earlier this summer just to get it out of the way, and so I'd have a little bit more to sell. But I just got pretty busy with everything else. So here's the pile that we have. It goes up there pretty far. Decent amount of wood. We'll get a few cords out of that. We'll start piling it here. We'll use some of those pallets that are up there further just to keep it up off the ground. And I'm just gonna mound it up. I'm not gonna stack it or anything like that. So one more quick thing that I'll do before we end the video today is take you down. I'll show you where the house is at. Not a whole lot of progress since the last video, but hopefully within the next few days they'll be forming up the walls and pouring those either later this week or early next week before Thanksgiving, and then we can start framing shortly after that. So I'll show you where we're at down there right now, and then we'll call it a day. So this is where we're at with the foundation. There's stone all the way around up to the top of the footers. On the inside, on the outside, there's stone. The French drain's put in, so it's ready for the poured walls. I just talked to the concrete crew this morning, and they are going to come, he said, yet this week one day, so either tomorrow or Friday, possibly even Saturday, but I don't think so. to set the forms. Once the forms are set and the rebar is laid, then we'll be ready to pour the walls. I don't know if I mentioned before, but they're 9-foot walls and the subfloor on that. That way, if we ever decide to finish the basement, we can get 8-foot ceilings down here just to make it a little bit more comfortable. So I know we were a little bit all over with today's video, so thanks for bearing with me. But I appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.